As summer drew closer and my friends and I looked forward to a leisurely summer of fun and sun, then Erin decided to throw one of her parties. This one is a costume party with a twist. She had everyone that had been invited draw a paper out of a basket. Whatever was written on the paper is what you have to come to the party dressed as. People drew their slip of paper, some smiling, some frowning. When it was my turn, I grabbed a paper, opened it, and saw what was written there. Right, it said on my paper, "Listen, everyone, I have matched up the costumes, like Superman and Lois Lane, the Prince and Cinderella, and so on." Then she started to read off the costumes from the list she had. When she got to bride, I stood up. So far, I was the only boy that would be dressing as a girl. Then she said groom, and Ken stood up. Ken is taller than I am by almost 8 inches and outweighs me by 40 pounds at least. Standing next to him as a bride, I would look like a girl. Then the rest of the names were drawn. I was the only boy to draw a girl's costume. There was some teasing about it, especially when Ken put his arm around me. When I got home, I told my mother what I had drawn, which made her giggle for a moment, then she turned serious. "I have my wedding dress, of course, but it's so far out of date that I would not ask you to wear it. But your Aunt Mary works in women's wear at the department store. Maybe she can help us." Mom called Aunt Mary, then explained what kind of help I needed. I saw Mom nodding her head a lot then. When she was off the phone, she told me that we were going to the store in the morning. I gave it no thought at all. I mean, it's just a wig and a dress after all. How hard could this be? I did not know how stupid I was either. The next morning, Mom and I went to see Aunt Mary. When I did not see just how serious becoming a bride should be, she took me into the bridal section. That's when I met the scariest woman I ever saw. Like Attila the Hun in a dress, the woman is huge with her salt and pepper hair pulled back in a severe bun, drawn so tight I think she used it a way to draw her facial skin tighter. Not to be crude, but I think she has more beard than I do. Mary introduced me to her, explaining why I needed to become a bride. "So, you want to be a bride, Even her voice sounded like gravel in a mixer. The woman pointed at a small room and told me to undress. I looked at Mom, who was nodding her head yes. "Margaret says that you will be a beautiful bride." How would she know? She looks like a truck driver. "Hush up and do as I tell you. Slip this robe on for a moment. I'll be back in a few minutes." When Mom returned, she handed me a pair of panties, then put the rest of the things on the bench. Mom motioned for me to put the panties on and turned around while I did. Then she wrapped a corset around me, watching as I struggled to fasten the hooks that went all the way up the front. Then she tightened the laces, gasping for air and panting. Next, I had to sit and pull on some of those nylon footies of the type you see in shoe stores when women try on shoes. I wrapped the robe around me, then followed Mom out of the small booth. Margaret pointed at a small raised platform, and I stepped up on it. Then she measured my waist, bust, and hips while Mom and Aunt Mary stood watching. "A size 10, I think. Let me get a dress for her to try on. It's one that was returned, so you can get a very good deal on it." Her? Margaret left me standing there for 10 minutes before she returned with a huge plastic bag. Mom helped her take the dress out, then it was slipped over my head, pulled down, and zipped up. I was in a sea of white satin and lace, and looking down, I could clearly see that the dress is low-cut. The dress hung from my shoulders, leaving my arms bare, fit tightly across my abdomen, then flared out. The dress was dragging on the floor, but all of the women ignored that and had me stand there while they fussed here and there. Aunt Mary had a pair of white shoes in her hand and helped me slip my feet into each one. I was able to stand there in the heels, but walking might be a problem. She will be beautiful after you remove all of the hair on her legs and so on, get her hair styled and proper makeup. "I agree, Mary, I'll take care of it. The child does need a bigger bust, but also hips, and I have just the thing for her. I will get it for you." Things were going from merely bad to worse now. Mom had a funny look on her face, Aunt Mary smiling. Margaret returned, handed Mom some boxes, then helped me get the dress off. I went to put my own clothes on, but Mom refused to take the corset off, saying that I should wear it for a while to break it in. The best I could manage was to remove the stuffing in the bra. Mom didn't say anything until we got home, then told me to go to my room and undress. When we got home, I went to my room, undressing as quickly as I could. I still had the panties on as Mom unlaced the corset. As I took it off, I began breathing a sigh of huge relief until I saw what she had in her hands. This party is only 5 days away, which is barely enough time for you to get used to walking in a dress, let alone heels. So I think that you should spend some time dressed as a girl. That's why Mary brought over a few things of hers for you to try on. Spend how much time as a girl? Why, from now until the party, of course. But why? All I have to do is wear the dress and show up. Because being a bride is a very big thing in a girl's life, and you should respect that by doing the best you can, and that means becoming a girl for a week. Besides, you'll want to get your hair and nails done on Saturday, so you'll look nice at the party. I'm sure that you don't want to go into the salon as a male, then leave as a male, but with bridal hair and well-done nails, do you? Of course not, but my hair isn't long enough. Yes, it is. You just aren't used to brushing it out that way. Arguing with my mother is like talking to a post. She might hear what you say, but it bounces right off. Do I have to? I think you should, yes. There wasn't any way I could talk her out of this, especially when she had that look on her face. So with a shrug, I gave up, and Mom spread a cream all over me. Then, after a short wait, I showered it off, which took all of my body hair away, leaving my skin smooth and silky soft. Put this on for now. Mom handed me a bra. Shocked that how easy it had been to take away my manhood and turn me into a girl. At her direction, I sat on the bed and pulled on the pantyhose, then was handed a short dress, which I slipped over my head. As soon as she zipped it up, I stepped into the heels, looked in the mirror, and almost fainted. With no makeup, my hair in a stringy mass, and standing awkwardly, I looked like a girl. And scarier, it was obvious even to me that it wouldn't take much more to complete this transition. Mom had me take the dress off and we went into her bedroom, where she did my makeup for me, then brushed out my hair using a blow dryer and her curling iron, some gel and hairspray. When she was done, I could see that I was right. Back in my room, I slipped the dress on again and looked in the mirror. Now we need a name for this new girl we have here. I kept my mouth shut, unwilling to give her any ideas, but Mom did not wait long before she said my new name would be Claire. Now that we have all that out of the way, you can do what you usually do, but remember, you're a girl now for a week, and I want you to try and act like one. You can imagine what I felt like when Mom left my room. There I was, dressed as a girl, looking pretty good, with the thought of spending an entire week this way. As I looked around my room, I wondered how it would be to stay there the whole time. I never got the chance to dwell on it because Mom called me using the new name. Figuring it was just the two of us, it would be okay. So I went down the stairs as quickly as I could in the unfamiliar heels. The minute my feet touched the lower landing, I turned and saw Erin standing there, her mouth wide open. So there I was, dressed as a girl, stuck in place, unable to find a way to leave. I stopped by to tell you that you don't have to be a bride if you don't want to, but... Claire? I looked at Mom, who had the instruction sheet for the breast forms in her hand, her eyes wide open. When I attached those forms, I didn't read the instructions until now, that is. It says here that most attempts to remove them will injure the skin, causing scarring and/or tissue damage. The minimum time you'll have to wait is 10 days. 10 days! Mom! I know, dear, and I am sorry about this, but look at the bright side. The party is on Saturday, which is 6 days away. So all you'll have to do is wait another few days before we can try to remove them. What if they don't come off? Then what? Then you'll just have to wait until we can get them off. Great. Erin heard all of this but did not make the connection right away. Then Mom explained it to her. Erin looked at me the whole time Mom was talking, her eyes moving up and down my body. You're telling me that he will have to be Claire for 10 days? Yes, dear, but I don't want him teased because I made a mistake. Looking like that? She'll be lucky if she isn't hit on by every guy that sees her. Mom and Erin both looked at me for a moment. Then Erin asked Mom if I had enough clothes to last 10 days. And when Mom said that Aunt Mary had loaned me a few things of hers, she asked me if I wanted to go with her to the mall so I could get some clothes that fit me correctly. My immediate and very firm answer was no, of course. I could wear my own clothes, with the bra maybe, but there wasn't any reason for me to expand the number of girl clothes I already have. Well, she certainly needs some panties of her own and another bra, of course. Maybe some basic flats and a skirt. Why don't we all go together? That way I'll be able to see that Claire has what she needs. Mom! You girls wait here. I'll get our purses and we can go. I never thought that you would look so. Good? Yes. But better than that, girl. You're very pretty. I only did this for the party, Erin. I'm not into dressing as a girl, and you know it. We'll see. Just then, Mom showed up handing me a black purse which had my wallet, a brush, lipstick, and some tissue in it. Once again, she turned deaf on me. I hesitated, unwilling to leave the house. Then Erin took my hand in hers, pulled a little, and I reluctantly followed her out of the house. With a breeze in my underwear, fear stalking nearby, and a general uncertainty about all of this, I was ushered into the car. With Erin in the back seat, I could not see the smile on her face, or those eyes of hers twinkling in excitement. As one, we went into the lingerie section of the same store I'm getting the dress from. My nose was assaulted by the scent of perfume or something. Erin and Mom went straight to the racks, hunting for just the right garments, while I tried desperately to hide behind the panties. While you're looking at panties, Claire, pick out some you like, but make sure they're cotton. Mom's voice was loud enough for everyone could hear. I started looking at them, not knowing exactly what to get, but most of them had a picture on the front, and I grabbed a package of plain white panties. Erin and Mom had a bra when they joined me. I handed her the package, staying right where I was, with a giggling Erin, while Mom paid the bill. Let's go, girls. We have to get Claire a few skirts, blouses, and some shoes. Details don't matter here. Suffice it to say that I left the store with 2 new skirts, 2 blouses, and 2 pairs of shoes, and my underwear damp. We dropped Erin off at home, with her telling me she would be over the next day. Mom took us home, then insisted that she show me the right way to put a bra on. Since I would be wearing one for at least the next 10 days, I had no choice but to let her. I don't really hate having these things stuck on my chest. I hate the fact that I now have to dress as a girl, and worse than that, I turned out to be cute. When we were done, I had on the new wraparound green skirt with a white pullover top, the black heels and pantyhose. All it took was one look, and I knew that not many people would know I am a boy unless I told them. My bra strap's barely visible. The hem on the skirt is at mid-thigh, revealing shapely, tan-colored legs. Mom didn't say much when she saw me, just that she liked the way I looked. Embarrassed, I sat watching television for an hour or so. Then the door opened, and in walked Aunt Mary. I made the appointment at the salon for Saturday morning. That way we'll have all day to get you ready in plenty of time. Gee, thanks. You're quite welcome, dear. Aunt Mary ignored my sarcasm, left me, and joined my mother in the kitchen. What I really wanted to do was join them, so I would know what kind of plan they're hatching, but if they were just talking, I might become the subject of discussion. I went in and flicked on the television instead. With every step, hair flickered across my ears. The bouffant style looked nice, but every time I saw my reflection, I wondered who the girl is. My hand rested on my leg. The silky nylon over smooth skin actually felt quite nice, but I would never admit that to anyone but myself. Just about an hour later, someone phoned, Mom answered it, and I heard a muted conversation. Ignoring it, I continued to watch the television. Aunt Mary went home, Mom started dinner, and I set the table. Right about the time I started to get the plates out, the doorbell rang, and Mom let Ken enter. His eyes landed on me, and a grin broke out on his face. Erin said you were a fox, and she was right. You look fantastic. What? What are you doing here? I came to see my bride, of course. Well, now you have. And you're beautiful. I can't wait to show up at the party with you, Claire. Me either. That's great. I do think that we should spend some time together, though, after all. We will be the bride and groom. Mom was clearly taken by Ken's good looks, and I got that sinking feeling that she agreed with him. Standing next to him, even in heels, I found myself looking at his chin, a grin plastered on his face. Why not let me take you to dinner tonight? Before I could even open my mouth, Mom said it would be okay with her. Claire does need some practice being around people, as a girl that is, and dinner out is a good start. Don't you think so, Claire? I wanted to kick her right in the shins, but wouldn't, of course. All I could do was either say no and make everyone unhappy or go along with it, but make sure he kept his hands to himself. Mom handed me the same purse and told me to touch up my lipstick, which I did. Then, in a desperate attempt to stay home, I reminded both of them that as soon as I could, I would be back to my old self, and I could stop the charade. Mom merely smiled while Ken held his hand out to me. Once again, I failed. I did not take his hand, but followed him out to his car, sat in my own seat, buckled in. Safe, I hoped. I wasn't so sure based on the way he looked at me. It made me feel like dinner for a great big bear. That's it for today. Hope you have enjoyed it. If you do, then be sure to subscribe for the next part of this story. And show your support on Patreon.